Hello everyone, it's been a little while, my apologies for that. Well, there's a lot been happening. Someone's just rocked up. I don't know who it could be. Alright, I'll just, one moment, as there's a van in the drive and I'll be right back. Okay, just a delivery. Anyway, just to catch you up to speed, what we've been doing lately. We went away for a little bit, for a couple of weeks, and we found that some of the setup still wasn't working for us. So, and they're really easy fixes. So we took some seating out of the van, and we're currently working on that, and I'll run through what we're doing there a little bit later. And we just changed a few things around the van, and it's probably easy just to show you where we're up to. So today's a pretty blustery, windy day, so apologies for any wind noise on the camera. So let me take you around the back and we'll show you some future projects where we're up to, and what we've got planned, and just give you a little bit of a catch up really. Okay, I'll grab you and I'll put you down the back. Okay, not sure where we were last up to. So we've finished insulating all the roof right through, so all we need to do is now fit the roof and the lighting. So lights and a bit of the roof still to go. Over here we've done a little bit of sorry about the lighting, but the feature wall. So we've done a nice tangerine orange colour, which we both love, orange and green. So I'm not sure it's going to really show much on the camera just as to the effect of it, but anyway, and because we're both cat people, we love that whole feature there. So down here we hope to build almost like a composting toilet and seat, so down here, so that should be quite good. Obviously we've got the kitchen, and we've still, even going away lately, we decided still we don't need a sink. We've tested it, and yeah, we find we don't need a sink. We've got a spray bottle with some vinegar in it, and we clean up after we've eaten straight away, so the food doesn't stick to the plates, and yeah, and it's worked each time. So some paper towel and vinegar works well. Actually, we'll probably still get some in the cupboard. I can show you. Yep, vinegar in a squirty bottle, paper towel. So yep, we still don't need a sink. So that's not in the future build yet, or on the plans anyway. Just putting some of these child locks back on so the doors don't fly open. So over here, as you can see, we've pulled the seats out here, and we've pulled the fridge out, and we'll talk about that. The fridge, we've decided to buy another one. So there was nothing wrong with the oldie fridge. Great fridge, kept everything cold, easy to use, but we just kind of didn't really need all that fridge. Like, for our food, we didn't need such a big fridge, so we bought a smaller one, and we bought a King's, and I can't really comment on the King's at the moment because we haven't used it. So yeah, so that's a new thing to work out, but it was relatively cheap. Got it on a sale, but King's have always got sales. Yeah, so I'll get back to you on that, the King's fridge. Okay, So another thing we found down here, I had mounted down here. Yep, I had mounted the diesel heater switch and the control panel for the battery. It got in the way with the Duno. We turned the heater on a few times with the Duno. So I'm moving it. Yeah, and we couldn't see it because it was covered by the blanket, and it just was not a great spot. So we moved it up here. You can see. So yep. So we've got the control center for the Renogy battery setup and the diesel heater, and obviously that's for the max air fan, our smoke detector, and our gas detector's still down there, down the bottom there. So we've installed some overhead cupboards, and then we bought these little baskets that we put our clothes in. So we find that works, with that recent going away, worked really well. Yeah, so that worked. Down here we installed a little shelf. We'll give it, we just sat the tissues up there for a little bit, but usually we put our glasses and our phones and stuff sits in there. And pretty much everything's the same in the back. We haven't altered anything. And then all that's to go is the doors. We've got a panel and the roof, the ceiling, like I said. And future projects. Future projects. Well, we found out that the 100 amp hour battery isn't enough if we've got a couple of days with no sun. So over the winter bit, we did feel that we couldn't charge it enough with the blanket. So we're going to add another 100 amp hour battery to our setup, which we kind of thought that would happen, and I think I might have said that we can add to it. So we're just going to add another 100 amp hour. But I'm also toying with the idea of putting just a panel on the roof, just to feed it while we're sitting. There's always getting power. If we've got activities during the day and we don't get a chance to roll out the solar blanket, yeah, we're still getting some kind of energy back into the batteries. So we're probably going to go with that. Our little EcoFlow River Pro went very well. Love it, absolute love it. It's just so handy. You need your phone charged. Of course, we've got the most thirstiest battery phones that you can probably buy on the planet, because I feel like forever it's always going flat. So great for that. We could just charge it. We took it into a couple of pubs and charged it as we had a meal, no problem whatsoever. So yeah. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was showers, and what we're thinking about, the idea behind that, and why we didn't build it into the van is pretty much when we were away, we pulled up at several caravan parks and paid for a shower, $5 each. I really can't be bothered building a shower in here for $5 a piece for a shower. I mean, like, and the caravan parks and all that everywhere. Yeah, so no shower being factored as well. So that's no sink and no shower, and that will just, the water side of it, we don't need to worry about tanks and stuff like that. We still go with the bottles of water, and we carried actually a 5 litre container with fresh water in it. and that did us fine. We could fill that up pretty much anywhere. So at the moment, unless we go right off grid and we're going to be a little way away from civilization or more shops or access to really caravan parks, then we might think about maybe building a little solar shower at the back, but certainly not getting factored into the build at the moment. Okay, what else was future projects? So that's solar on the roof, another battery, lighting, toilet, rust. Rust. I do own a Mercedes Sprinter, and we're not far from the coast, so yeah, I think the little bits of rust that's coming on the vehicle now, which are mainly stone chips, but they're getting bad, and if I don't get on it, then before you know it, it's gonna be a big job. So I'll show you a couple on the way to the shed, and I'll show you what we're doing today, our seating. So follow me. So like I said, sorry about the blustery wind noise, but I'm going to point around the windscreen with all the stone chips, and we've got a couple of really bad spots. So you can see it's coming in the window, and up the top you might not be able to see, but the rust is starting to come through the vehicle down there. Wobbly round. It's funny, on a sunny day you can see the rust really well. Back door, rust up there. Rust spots. The door, rust. I've cleaned that one off a little bit, and it's held up, so it's quite good. So yeah, just a little bit of fix up around the vehicle. And I'll take you in and show you the seat, which when we went away we found this seat was actually too high, and it was uncomfortable to sit on. So back in the workshop, so it was, like I said, everything's in a module, which is great, so you whack it out. We dropped these down a bit, so that's the top of the seat there, so we dropped that down all the way around and put it all back together again. And because we use pocket hole screws, it's really easy to pull apart and put back together again, no effort whatsoever. So what we're thinking, caboodle make drawers, so we're going to trial one, see how it goes. So we fitted it in, and it's soft closing drawers. We haven't mounted it yet, so we're just setting up the brackets, and then we'll bolt it all in place. So great little project, and then we'll put a seat and cushion back over it. While we're here, I will show you the King's fridge that we bought. So a lot smaller inside, but I think it will be perfect for us. And it's either fridge or freezer, not both. And if we need to get a little freezer, well, we might just get another one of these and make it a freezer and put it in the back. So depends. You can get if you bio wrap the meat, you get a good life span on them. So at the moment we don't need to freeze anything, but we could change on that. Yeah, so that's our projects. The heater has been working fantastic. Got no complaints about that. We took it off to refit it, and we're gonna fit it down here on the floor. We just have the heat come up from the floor rather than coming out the vents up high. So, and I think it's a better spot, just out of the way, tucked out of the way here. We're also thinking about maybe putting a drawer through here that will come out over the fridge, but we haven't purchased that yet, and I'm still trying to work out how that's gonna fit in there, or how I'm going to build it in there. Really, that's going to fit, but yeah, not really a carpenter, but yeah, we'll work on that. So that's what we've been up to. I've got to admit, we haven't spent a lot of time in the van. We've had a little bit on and work and stuff like that, and just basically a bit of house stuff we've been working on, and yeah, so it's time to get back into the van and fix up, continue with the build. But so far we're really happy. Another thing that happened over the last few months is we broke down again, and it was the same problem as last time. The whole steering rack came out and I had no steering. But you couldn't get any luckier, or was it luck? I think it was luck that it actually happened. I got home from work and it happened right outside my driveway. So that's where I broke down, outside my driveway. So we've got a new steering rack. I mean, it was all put back together and it held off for a while, and we actually went away and we took it on some rough tracks and stuff like that, and it did really well. But I think the component part to the steering box and all that was just hidden behind some fault, some stress, metal stress, I don't know. And the age of the vehicle, it actually just just gave up the ghost. So a new part there, and like we say about Mercedes, it's expensive. But totally love the vehicle. I wouldn't like to swap it. Blustery roads, and she just holds the road. She doesn't get blown around like some of the vans you see, and yeah, she just holds the road. So I don't know what's all the weight we're trying to work out and around, but in the build, we've been removing a lot of the heavy timber that we've used and just try and lighten everything up. And that was the idea behind the fridge. I mean, if we're not using all of the fridge, why carry around that weight? And also with the seat, why carry around, like build it? So we've shrunk everything down using a lighter timber. And of course, the reason we used a heavier timber was we built it during the when there was a shortage. So I couldn't get the timbers that I really wanted, and we had to build it with whatever. So now we're just lightening everything down. Anything that we're not using, we're not bringing. And it's really is a learning curve with them, minimalisation or minimise of what you actually need or use. Don't need to bring as many clothes. It's all a learning curve. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. And hopefully you won't wait too long for the next vlog. I've got some travel ones to show you, and I'll edit that and put them up in between after this one, and just get back into the videoing and the editing again. Apologies for the late video, but hopefully have more coming soon. Anyway, be good, be kind, and look after our fur friends. See you on the next vlog. Bye.